Yeah, how long are we going to be?
As long as you want, talking about Brighton.
I don't know, is that it?
So, we're recording a show, Nick.
Second shot, Sunderland off his right. Oh, Chicago. I do not believe that. Harry. Oh, this is getting better and better and better. It's Torres holding his tie. In the Champions League final. The headline has been written.
Hello and welcome to the V2 Football Podcast. I'm your host Shane Lees, and joining us this week we've got Richard Hero Hudson.
Good evening.
Nick Davey.
Yeah, good evening.
And Anthony Kendrick.
Hello everyone.
Right, we're going to get straight in, and it was a terrible night for England in the Champions League last night. We had PSV defeat Manchester United 2-1, and Luke Shaw break his leg in two places, so he's out for probably the most of the season, potentially a lot longer after that. And Man City lost at home to Juventus 2-1. So we're going to talk about Luke Shaw's injury in a bit, but what I want to ask is, what are English sides exactly doing wrong in Europe? Because it's not been good for a number of years now. So,
I think United last night. Did anybody else watch the game?
yes.
I was at the Brighton game, I'm afraid.
It was one of them where just nothing went right. Well, they had over twice as many shots, 70% possession. The game was pretty much in PSV's half for most of the game, and I think it was just one of those nights. I don't think I'd read too much, and if it carries on into the next game, then fair enough. But I'm writing that one off.
See, that's what I'm thinking, because the Man City game was actually very similar, because Juventus had some good periods of play, but by and large Man City dominated the game. And actually, if you think back to most of the Champions League games where it hasn't gone right for English teams, it's the same story. Dominating the game, getting hit on the counter-attack, very suddenly, losing the game in just moments. I think it was the case with when Man City lost to Moscow a few years ago, to CSKA, and it was just three brutal counter-attacks. So, I mean, is it maybe the way English sides are approaching the game in the Champions League? Is that maybe what they're doing wrong? Because it has been bad for a few years now. It's consistently bad now. So I think we can say there is, certainly a pattern. But
we saw last year at Chelsea against PSG in the knockout stages. PSG put in, I think, that was probably one of the best away performances I've ever seen in the Champions League, and it was mainly done on counter-attacks.
I think there's two problems. I think the English teams aren't clinical enough in front of goal. They do generally tend to dominate games, as you say, but you look at some of the other teams, they'll have, say 3-4 shots on goal and score, a few goals. I think the other part is I do think we underestimate European teams and overestimate our own clubs.
Is there maybe a similarity to be drawn with international football, in the sense that with domestic club level football, what you have is generally you have quite a lot of chances in the game, tends to go a bit both ways, and it's just whoever takes the chances they have. But with international football and European football, it seems to be there's fewer chances, but it's whoever takes those chances of the one or the two or the three chances that they actually have. Are maybe English sides not adjusting to that way of playing?
Definitely. I think English football is very unique in its style, where it is all end-to-end excitement, power, pace, power, what is king. But you look at the European leagues and international football, it's a lot more technical, and it's not as end-to-end. It's more tactical and more technical. I think that's the problem for English clubs, that they don't adapt to that as well as they should.
Yeah, well, you say that. It's like you're saying that it's not as end-to-end, but if English clubs are used to playing end-to-end football, then they should be able to defend against the other team suddenly launching a counter-attack.
Yeah.
Well, also, would there maybe criticism then of English teams if they start to play more counter-attacking, a bit more defensive, sitting back and trying to just wear the other team down in that way? That sides were not going for it. This is the best league in the world. Surely we should be attacking these teams. Would we not end up having that response?
Chelsea did it a few years ago, and they did really well. They got to the semi-finals before losing to Atletico, but they put in some great performances, especially on their travels away from home.
Well, I'll put it this way: when Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League,
I was going to say even that year when they got to the fight, when they won it.
When they won it, they were playing by and large counter-attacking football that year. But
what a treat!
Also, they were pretty much slated for being one of the worst Champions League wins in history.
No,
And in a sense, a lot of people said it wasn't deserved at all. A lot of people
I don't
said,
buy that. Not deserved.
well, no, I don't buy that personally, but you know,
you won a tournament, no matter how.
It was quite a widespread belief that it was not as well earned as if they'd been playing flamboyant, attacking football. Maybe
it wasn't that it wasn't earned. It was more that just it was soul destroying.
It wasn't really much. It wasn't really entertaining, as we've seen when
I think
in the past, like Man United winning it, Barcelona, etc.
I think what Chelsea did was different to what European teams do because they parked the bus a lot more. It was a lot more defensive than anything I've ever seen in Europe. In Chelsea's case, it was more as if it was clinging on almost. Whereas other European teams, I think it's more of it in a controlled manner.
But PSV last night were parking the bus on McCormick. For a large portion of the game, they had virtually everyone apart from the striker behind the ball.
Yeah, but PSV aren't going to win the Champions League. It's a different thing that where Man United are clearly the stronger side, and then later on in the tournament.
Okay, there's 2 points here. The first point obviously is that English sides aren't being counter-attacking enough. They're not letting to take their chances enough. The other side is that maybe they're not attacking properly. So I'd say, I'll ask one question. If English sides started playing 2 strikers instead of 1 against the sides like PSV, who are just sitting behind the ball waiting to counter-attack at pace, do you think they'd have more luck? Because it seemed with United, the problem was just unlocking that final bit of a defence. Because there weren't enough men committing to the box.
The hard problem for United is that actually managing to get 2 strikers.
I think.
Okay, you got me there.
In general, I think you can play with 2 strikers, but one of the 2 has to drop deep and help your side defend. Whether it's like stopping a deep playmaker, like your Pirlo or your Xavi type players, or whether it's helping the midfield. One of the 2 strikers has got to drop back, otherwise, you're outnumbered in the middle.
Okay,
and if that was United, then you'd have Rooney sort of dropping back. And the problem is when Rooney starts dropping back, is he wanders all the way back to defensive midfield.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about it probably the last 2 or 3 weeks now because it's been international football, the lack of English players developing. Do we see there being any connection between the lack of English players in the top sides, the lack of them developing their own talent, and the lack of European success? Because if you do look through the history, English teams were more successful in Europe when they were starting to develop their own players more. Man United are the best example of that.
No, 99.
Do we think there's a link there, or is that just tenuous?
I think it's 100% a link then. I think that 100%. It's no surprise at all. I mean, don't really know how to word it, to be honest, but I do 100% think there's a link there.
I'm just having a look what that final team was for United, because I don't think there was that many of the homegrown that you're thinking of in it.
What, in 1999 or 2008?
2008 there weren't that many, but the 99 I don't think there were that many either.
Yeah, but there's still more there's still more then than there is now, isn't there?
There was still a core part of that squad.
Like Chelsea, you've only got Cahill, Terry, and that's it. And
English players even. Like, there's no English players hardly anymore, and yet, whether it's homegrown or not, the majority of United's 99 team was English or British.
There was 4 English in the side.
I mean, I do think when you see these European...
There must be more than 4. Sheringham, both Nevilles.
There was only Gary Neville.
Where was Phil?
It was Beckham, Butt, and Andy Cole.
Well, Sheringham, he scored the winner.
He came on a sub.
Oh.
When you see these European teams, though, a lot of what comes into European football is a sense of pride. You see, it's almost like these entire cities are now getting behind these teams, regardless of whether or not the supporters are involved. And I do think there might be this, because it is a lot of foreign players, it becomes more like, it almost seems like Europe is becoming more mercenary-like for English sides. Does that make sense, what I'm saying there?
I agree. I think, yeah. I can tell you as well, I think away support, European away support, like living in Manchester, if on a Champions League or Europa League day, if you go into Manchester City Centre, it's brilliant to watch all the away fans from, Portugal or Germany or wherever, all coming over, thousands of them, and they really care about their team, and it's a brilliant atmosphere usually in the city centre. I remember being on a tram full of Bruges fans for United's qualifying game, and all of them there, they were proud of their team, and it was brilliant to watch, a lot more so than if it was an English team.
Well, it's mainly because the English teams aren't actually English teams anymore, I think.
Yeah, no,
Fans have more of affinity when they have their own, I think it's part of what Liverpool have been lacking in recent years. They've been starting to move away from having young Scousers in the side. And as much as, we might find that amusing ourselves, it's you sort of lose the soul of the team. And I do think there's been sort of a more move towards mercenary footballers when it comes to English sides and European football. And I don't know what it is specifically about European football that makes us do this. I do think we are lacking something there. But okay, we'll talk about City. Because Man City have been failing in Europe ever since they've got into it now.
Yeah, they have.
Okay, we're talking about patterns and consistencies. What is Man City's problem? Because they should have won that match against Juventus. I think they were a better side for most of the game. But when it comes to playing in Europe, they just seem to lose all of their enthusiasm, all of their confidence.
To be fair to them, they didn't have Aguero, did they, last night?
Yeah, but they have a brilliant squad. That is a brilliant squad.
I'm not trying to defend that. I'm just saying he probably... comparing him to Wilfred Boney's massive, isn't it?
And in fairness to them, they were playing against the side that got to the final last year.
Yeah, but I think if you compare the two sides, Man City have to be the favourites, and they're at home. The thing is as well, City have been on fire so far this season. They've been playing with swagger and confidence. But when they go into Europe, they just seem to lose all of that. It's like they're little boys in a new school. I think
I would argue that City don't have the better side on paper, the better 11 players. Because I think the Juventus team, you've got players in there who are underrated. Like, for example, Vincent Kompany, everyone says best centre-back in the world, but yet Chiellini, the Juve centre-back, who scored the own goal yesterday, he is equally good. And, you look at other City top players, and I think Juve are more than a match for them, player by player.
Well, that's why they got to the final last year. So they're no mugs.
Okay, so you don't think Man City were favourites in that game? Playing at home against Juventus?
No, I don't. I can see why people would say they are, but I think they're wrong because I think it's down to people overrating an English team. I think the City team are overrated, and yet the foreign teams are underrated. And I think the European experience is also an underrated factor in playing.
Okay, I'll ask you a second question then, and I'm asking this to you, Anthony. If Juventus were in the Premier League, would they win it?
It would be them or Chelsea. Well, I say that.
Yeah, because at the moment, City look like they're probably going to walk the league this year. So you think if Juventus... Because if what you're saying is what you're saying if Juventus were in the Premier League, they'd probably walk it.
Well, probably.
I would have them as third.
Going on last season, Juventus would have certainly finished second, if not beaten Chelsea.
I don't really know what to say about that. I think Juventus are a very good side, but I think fourth would be about their highest. I think they're a similar level to Arsenal in the league.
The midfield of Juventus last year was the best midfield in the world.
Yeah, completely agree.
They're a good side, but I think especially Man City at home should have won that, and they should have won it relatively comfortably. Not massively, 1-2-0, without ever truly, feeling too much under threat. But, I take your point, but we are trying to sort of figure out...
Can I just jump in with a point?
Yeah, please go on.
It was mentioned before about the homegrown talent.
Go on.
Last year, Barcelona started with 4 homegrown talent. The year before, Real Madrid started with 3 homegrown talent. It's not just us.
No, it's not just us, but I think with a lot of the other European clubs, there's a much bigger connection towards the city, towards the country, towards the fans. And I do think we're starting to go away from that. And for some reason, it seems to be bigger in European football, that divide. I think fans seem to just be more critical when it comes to European football, and I think that's all linked in.
I agree. I think apart from like Real Madrid, Barcelona, I think Italian fans, for example, even if they're Juventus fans, they still want other Italian teams to do well in Europe.
Yeah,
as a Man United fan, I don't want to see Liverpool or City do well in Europe at all.
I have to say, I was supporting Man United and City when I was supporting all the English sides. I actually sort of shouted out when Mata missed that sitter, which was terrible.
But if a rivals team were playing in the Champions League or the Europa League, would you support them?
No, I agree, actually.
If Pompey were playing in the Champions League, I don't know. I think, what's it...
I'd hate to see Palace in Europe. I wasn't a big fan of... Sorry, Shane, when Southampton were in Europa League. I'm happy they're out. just because obviously South Coast Riley, but I couldn't agree more with Anthony there, to be honest with you. I mean,
What is the Brighton thing about Crystal Palace?
Well, that's a separate story.
That would take a while.
Man United, to be honest, apart from United, I quite like them because obviously from the class of '92, I couldn't really care if any of the English clubs went out of the Champions League, only because none of them are really building it around English talent.
That's okay. Yeah, that's
from mainly from a neutral point of view. Obviously, I'm not. Because obviously, I don't support the big clubs.
But what about City in particular? Do we identify that they're doing anything particularly wrong?
No.
Is it just bad luck?
I think they always seem to get an absolute stinker of a group.
I would say as well. We're judging this on one game in the Champions League, and it was against probably the toughest team they're going to play in the Champions League.
Well, we're not judging
so far in the group, anyway.
I don't think we're judging it on one game in the group because not Juventus, City have been poor in Europe for a while now.
Yeah, two games against Barcelona.
Sorry, what?
They've been knocked out twice against Barcelona. I think you have to attribute some of that to luck.
Okay,
they beat Munich last year at home as well. They were quality that game.
All right, yeah, we'll be fair. There's a fair bit of bad fortune. Okay, we'll move on. We'll talk about Luke Shaw's injury. Luke Shaw, okay, yeah, he broke his leg in two places. I can't remember which two places. I think it was fibia and tibia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 minute round of applause.
It's a terrible break. I'm just going to quickly information overload you as I can. The shortest length of time a player who has had that break before has ever been out injured is 212 days. The longest is over 400 days. And most of those players who are around...
Is that Henrik Larsson?
Henrik Larsson was the shortest, I think. But most of those players who are between 300 and 400... Well, I've looked at the list. None of them ever went on to do anything considerable with their career. Or they were left injured for the rest of their career, more or less. So
Aaron Ramsey
is one of the few who came back in a very considerable way. Okay, first thing I'm going to ask, should this have been a red card? And if it should have been, should retrospective action have been taken? Because it hasn't been and it won't be.
Yes, of course it should have been a red card.
Okay, go on.
The letter of the law. The letter of the law is that excessive and reckless force warrants a red card, even with regardless of if they got the ball or not.
See, I hate to say it because I like Shaw and I hate seeing him injured like this, but I disagree completely.
What's the letter of the law?
Let me put it this way: if Shaw hadn't got injured in that tackle, if it had been the exact same tackle and just chances had been as Shaw's leg was higher up on the ground and it had just been taken out normally, nobody would have gone back to this tackle and said that was a dangerous tackle. No one would have looked back to it and said he should be suspended for that. It should have been a red card. Not one person. I think people are judging this one on the injury it caused rather than on the merit of the tackle alone.
Both feet were off the ground.
No, they weren't. Studs were down. He was off the ground. I'll agree with that one. And he was a bit reckless, but he won the ball.
From behind.
Won the ball. It wasn't from behind. It was from the side. I don't think it was not a good tackle. Probably should have been a penalty. But I think what a lot of people are calling for is blood because Shaw got injured. Shaw doesn't get injured. No one really cries about this one.
I think people are judging
this one by the injury.
Reckless and excessive force.
Okay, so if Shaw didn't get injured, would you still be saying he should be suspended for quite a few games?
The second leg is making contact with his leg.
Yeah, his following through leg. The leg he can't control.
Well, you can control it.
Not really. You slide in with one leg, the other leg trails. That's how it works. He can't tuck that leg up into his spine. I'm sure he wishes he could. This is a player who had that same kind of injury against Holland. This is a player. There was no maliciousness in that tackle whatsoever. He was going for the ball the entire time.
I agree that it wasn't malicious, but it was certainly reckless and excessive.
Can I just point out it was also a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, that's why I said I think it should have been a penalty, because I don't think it was a good tackle. I just don't think it was a bad one. If you block a
goal-scoring opportunity, that's also a red card in any case.
Maybe.
Yeah, professional foul.
I don't know. I think a lot of people at the moment, they're baying for blood because of the injury. I think a lot of people are judging the foul on the injury it caused rather than on the merits of the foul alone. I think if there's no injury like this, or if it's a small injury, people aren't going at this so hard.
But the injury is relevant.
It isn't. If a player makes a foul and kills the other player, even if it was a fine tackle, it's a fine tackle.
No.
Eric Dyer's challenge on Tom Cleverley was a pitch-perfect challenge, yet it completely rolled over Cleverley's ankle on the follow-through. But it was a perfect challenge. No one's complaining about that one.
That's because it's Tom Cleverley.
Yeah, you can't judge the tackle by the injury it causes. If a player goes up to try and head the ball and accidentally knees a player in the back of the head and kills him, we don't say,
Well, it's a
Jesus
bit like
Christ, he
that
should never
time.
play again. We say, no, that's bad luck. Because
Bit like
you
Petr
can't...
Cech.
Yeah, you can't
I
judge...
think referees have come out and said it should have been a red card.
Like I said, I can understand that position, but I think what a lot of people are doing at the moment, especially with the way they're saying, this guy should be suspended for X many games, I think people are just baying for blood because Shaw got a really bad injury.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
No, I've not said any of that sort. I've just said that what the letter of the law is that it was reckless and excessive.
Yeah, I can't see where you're coming on that one, but...
it should have been a straight red, a 3-match ban and a penalty.
I think that's being a bit harsh. I think I've watched that challenge quite a few times, and I think there's no maliciousness in it. I think he went for the ball, I think he won the ball. It was his trailing leg, his studs were down. I think that it was more a case with the injury and with the way that his left leg collided with Shaw's right was more bad luck and misfortune than anything else, rather than poor timing or any such like that, or recklessness. I don't know. Okay, we'll talk about Luke Shaw though. Like I said, it's anywhere between 200 days. No one's done it in less than 200 days, and infinite amount of time essentially. How do we think it's going to come back from this?
I think he will struggle. The reason being is Luke Shaw is a lad that needs to get up to fully fitness, and when he's not playing football, he's got a tendency to like his Mars bars.
Yeah, he did have quite a famously bad fitness levels at Southampton. That was something everyone very well knew.
He's going to have 3 or 4 months where he's not going to be able to do any exercise.
3 or 4 months. He's going to be out until at least March. In terms of
not being able to do exercise at all.
Yeah, I think
there'll be rehabilitation and stuff after that, but there's going to be a number of months now where he is just going to be sat on his arse. And that arse is going to be getting bigger.
I'll put it this way, I don't think we're looking at a case of a Ramsey. A Ramsey situation where a player breaks his leg badly and then comes back somehow even better, I think that's just so rare. He's pretty much the only example you can come up with where that's happened. And I think, in all probability,
the good thing for him is that it was a break in the middle of his leg and it was a clean one.
I think, though, in all probability, we're looking at, relatively speaking, the end of Luke Shaw. Not saying his career is going to be over or anything. I just think he's not going to come back from. He's not going to be the best English left back of his generation now. I really don't think that. I think in terms of what he could have been, I think after an injury like this, 10 years ago this is a career ender. 20 years ago this is a career ender. This is one you just don't come back from at all. The physios will look at it and just go, don't bother. I think this is such a bad injury. A lot of people are thinking he can come back from this in a year. Players don't come back from this kind of injury in the same place they ever were before, and it takes them so many years just to get back to that level.
Well,
they're coming back better than they used to, though.
Yeah, it's just it's one of those ones. I hate to say it, I absolutely hate to say it. I wish I could have seen him gone on to sort of match Ashley Cole's level, but I just don't. I don't see it.
He would have been a lot better if he'd have been injured at Old Trafford, which is an odd thing to say.
Go on, expand on that.
Because the home medical facilities that United have at their disposal will have been of a higher level than would have been available to him straight away over in Holland.
Yeah, it's true.
You sure? There's no one knowing that. I'm sorry, but that's a bit of a... I don't know. Probably.
Have you seen the investment United have made on their medical stuff?
I haven't, I'll admit. I know something happened on the Van Gaal, but I mean, I don't know what the facilities are like in Eindhoven, so...
United medical facilities are pretty much the best in the world now.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been treated there, wouldn't he have been treated at a local hospital? Or a private hospital?
They have their own sort of pretty high-level doctors straight away at Old Trafford, but straight away then... the Carrington and stuff, rehabilitation would have gone.
I don't really know how much that's
if
going to impact
it was essential, he wouldn't. He's still in Holland.
Yeah, I agree with Anthony. I do think it's a case of if it was essential, Holland isn't that far away. They could have thrown out their doctors and all of that stuff. They could have done that immediately after they figured out what happened. And United have a kind of side who would have done that. I don't think it will make a massive impact. But I do think overall it's a terrible thing. I think if anyone's actually sitting there thinking, "Oh, good, a Man United player's got injured," burn in hell. It's
Oh,
foul.
of course, yeah, no.
Because
Yeah,
there has been some of that, and that is foul. Absolutely
That's
foul.
pretty sick in the head for anyone to say that. I mean, it's just disgraceful. People even think it, let alone and actually come out and say it on any forum. I mean, I'm presuming we haven't had anything on our forum, right, Era?
No, on a sort of a positive though for United, it looked like the team spirit between the players was very much there for him.
I hope there's more of a once and they'll probably go and win a few games for him.
Well, apparently that him and Memphis, although Memphis has only been there for like 3 months, they've already become sort of best friends, and you could see that sort of the players were distraught for him after it happened, and I think it will sort of really sort of bomb that dressing room for him.
For Man United as well, I think they do have the cover for him with Blind and Rojo. They can even play Darmian left back and Valencia right back. It is obviously a bad injury, but there is the cover there.
Okay, well let's all hope he gets better and actually hopefully does come back and become a great left back. But I have my doubts on that. But we'll move on from that, and we're going to move on to the game.
They've already become sort of best friends, and you could see that sort of the players were distraught for him after it happened, and I think it will sort of really sort of bomb that dressing room for him.
For Man United as well, I think they do have the cover for him with Blind and Rojo. They can even play Darmian left back and Valencia right back. It is obviously a bad injury, but there is the cover there.
Okay, well let's all hope he gets better and actually hopefully does come back and become a great left back. But I have my doubts on that. But we'll move on from that, and we're going to move on to the game. Now this has been fated for several weeks now. The final between Richard and Anthony of the whatever the hell I'm calling this map game.
The stupid map cup.
The stupid map cup.
Game.
The geography game. All right. Yeah, we'll be putting on our YouTube
You want
channel.
a quick score update? It's Chelsea 2, Taïv 0 and Arsenal now 2-0 down with Giroud sent off.
Yeah, this is probably being released quite a lot later tonight, so everyone knows this.
Highlights, like, not with spoilers.
Yeah. Okay, right, yeah.
We don't do the podcast live, Nick.
Yeah, we'll be releasing on YouTube.
I thought we were going to have reporters at the games.
We'll be releasing on YouTube a version of this game which will have the map on it if you want to play along. So we're going to start off with Anthony. Get your maps out. Anthony, you're player one.
Yeah, I'm just getting my map ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Good luck.
You'll remember how this is done. I say a team, you have to tell me where it is first, and then you tell me where on the map. Okay, so the first team is Lush Energia Vladivostok.
Sounds a bit Eastern European. Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
It's Lush Energia Vladivostok, and I'll say that the important word in that one is the last one, Vladivostok.
I have no idea. Croatia.
No, that's Russia. Vladivostok is a very famous Russian city.
Right.
And Russia isn't the biggest country in the world there, so good luck.
Yeah. Okay, can you tell me where in Russia this is?
No.
And I'm going to tell you, there was a little rule we had on Russia before, where I said pretty much everything in Russia is in one place. This is not all in one place. I managed to find some teams in different places. So,
well, there's the what's it one, isn't there?
Makalala, Angie Makalala.
Yeah, that are absolutely miles away from everywhere.
Cue that being Shane's next question.
It isn't. Okay, but can you tell me where on the map Vladivostok is?
No, but I will have a guess at F22.
Can I have a guess if not?
You can have a guess, you're not getting any points for it, but...
I think that's on the border with Finland, so I think it's F19.
Tell you what, you are both pretty much as far away as you could have been. This is J27. It is the most eastern Russian side there is. It is right on the border of China and Mongolia.
Oh,
it is, yeah, the most eastern Russian side there is.
And you're expecting me to guess that?
It's Vladivostok. If you know what Vladivostok is, which it's kind of like a cultural city in Russia, it's quite well known. You'd have known exactly where that was.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good one. Okay, Richard. TP Mazembe. and that's spelled Mazembe. TP Mazembe.
That it immediately sounds African.
I can't say anything.
Cameroon?
Oh, that's not actually that close. No, it's in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yeah. Can you tell me where that is?
Mm,
Oh, do you want a clue?
right. No, I don't want a clue.
Okay, my clue might have been
Right.
useful.
Democratic Republic of Congo is bang in the middle of Africa. I know that because it's on the Congo.
Ooh.
Right, so Q18.
I was thinking R18, just French.
That wasn't the worst guess ever. It's R18. So you were on the sort of right track. But no, that's still 0 points.
It is that country, though, isn't it?
I think I haven't got the map up because I've just got the numbers up. But you are I think you're in the right place.
I've just got the north part of the country rather than the south part.
The Northern Congo. Okay, yeah. I should mention this now. This is the hardest game I've ever made. I would struggle with this one. So don't be surprised if our honoured guests are doing poorly. No, you shouldn't. Okay,
No.
Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and I want you to really try and listen to what I'm saying. Don't rush to an answer.
Okay.
Al-Ali Tripoli. That's Al-Ali Tripoli, and the last word is the word you should focus on.
Yeah, I'm thinking 'cause it was in the news.
It's been, my clue would have been, it's been a lot in the news in the last few years.
I know!
I think I know, but I'm not 100%.
I think I know.
Do you want me to repeat it?
No. Is it Libya?
It is Libya. That is Libya. Tripoli is in Libya. A lot of people think Tripoli is in the Middle East.
I thought Saudi Arabia.
It sounds like it if you didn't know Tripoli, yeah.
Yeah, okay, now can you tell me where Libya is?
I have absolutely no idea.
Yes!
You need to stay up to date on current affairs.
I'd see the zoomed in bit on the map, but I don't know. I guess we'll go around there. Hang on, Middle East. We will go L22.
Oh, you're miles away.
Yeah, no, you are really far away. It's
M18.
It's M17. You were really close. It's M17. It's Northern Africa. It's right in the middle of Northern Africa. So no points there.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
It's one a lot of people struggle with. Like I said, I've made this hard. Okay, Richard, you'll go.
Yeah.
Tom Tomsk.
Oh, fuck off.
Tom Tomsk. That's TOM space TOMSK. Tom Tomsk.
Ending in SK. Right.
Yeah, that was my thing.
I'm going to go for Russia again then.
That is Russia. That's the second division Russian side. Well done. Okay, now can you tell me where Tomsk is in Russia?
Right.
If you get this, I'll be impressed. I'll assume cheating, but I'll be impressed.
Right, so you're not doing your nice Russia then, are you? In the bottom, or in the very everything's in the west.
It's in a bit of a weird place in Russia.
Oh, I'm going to go where Nick goes then. I'll go for F22.
Oh, you're not far away. Not far away at all. It is H23. So yeah, not quite in Siberia, but relatively close actually.
I was thinking if it's going to be up there, then it's going to be. I was thinking it'd probably be next to those rather large water bits.
Okay, right. This next one for Anthony, I'm going to say I have to give you clues for this one, because otherwise you will not figure this one out. It's FC Santa Coloma. So it's Santa as in Santa Claus, and Coloma Coloma. And my clues for this are it's the 6th smallest country in the world, and it's got the highest capital in Europe. So I'm giving you some big clues there.
What, Europe, sorry?
Huh?
What, the highest? Oh, highest is in...
Highest capital is in its highest point. So yeah, otherwise you will not even get close. Otherwise. FC Santa Coloma.
Well, I thought Santa and that. I remember Santa Cruz, who played for Paraguay. I don't know if that's helpful, but when you say about height, you associate that with South America. So, I guess for no other reason, I'm going to say Paraguay.
Okay.
I think the clue was where he said it was Europe.
Tell you what, I said highest capital in Europe. Tell you what, because you might have not heard that.
Highest capital in the world.
No, sorry, don't give him any more help.
No, I'm going to let you have another guess because.
Oh, I'm not fair.
Because I think you might have just not heard Europe because of Nick's suspenseful tapping. Nick's suspenseful tapping might have put you off there. Yes, I'll let you have another guess.
Highest capital in Europe.
Yeah, 6th smallest country in the world, highest capital in Europe, FC Santa Coloma.
I know it.
Is it? Is it San Marino?
You weren't on the wrong path. It's Andorra. It's Andorra. Yeah, it's right. That's Andorra's right between Spain and France. It's a small little principality.
Give me more of a clue then.
Okay, yeah. I've given you a relative clue. I've just realised I've done that. You lost that last point anyway. Can you tell me where that is, Ben?
K16?
Yeah, I may have given that one slightly away. I'll make sure I give you a nice clue later on. Actually, I can give you a nice clue now because your one is also quite difficult. F91 Dudelange. And that is spelt... It's F91 Dudelange. This is also one of the smallest countries in the world. This is also one of the smallest countries in the world. And I'll give you a clue now. This is in Europe.
Yeah, I guess. Right, so the small countries in Europe. So it's not going to be Andorra because you've just done that. So the other small countries you've got. I'm guessing it's not a principality then.
Try to think of a name because you will have seen this in European qualifiers. They do feature quite heavily in them, and they've actually done quite decently before. F91 Dudelange. They have a flag very similar to another European countries. Astonishingly similar.
Right, I'm going to go with then Luxembourg.
Oh, bullseye. I had to give you a lot of clues because I accidentally completely gave it away before. Where's Luxembourg?
Luxembourg's part of the three with Belgium and Holland.
Okay.
I think it's just under the line on one of the things.
I'll be a little bit lenient, but I put it with those ones, if that makes sense. So if it's on a line, assume it's part of the bigger one.
Right. Well, if it's above the line, then to be with Holland and Belgium, it's J. My map doesn't.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry, I-17.
I-17, bullseye. You've just taken the lead with that one. Okay, Anthony. This is where it gets harder.
Oh, joy.
Selangor FC.
Selangor.
Selangor FC. Selangor FC. And I'm going to give you a hint. It's probably not the first place you're thinking of. Whatever the first place you've just thought of, dismiss that because I guarantee it's not it.
Right.
Let's go with something else.
I'm going to have to say the first place I thought of.
I can give you a quick hint, which might be useful.
If
you've ever played this video game. Its capital city features as a city-state on Civilization. The game. If you've ever played Civilization, this would be really obvious, actually.
Yeah, can I quickly ring Can I phone a friend?
No, you can't, because we're on a time frame.
Right, New Zealand.
No, you went too ridiculously far away. That's Malaysia. That's in Kuala Lumpur. It's the most successful team in Malaysia, that's why I picked it. I'm not surprised you didn't get that one right, to be honest. Can you tell me where Malaysia is? Do you know where Malaysia is?
It's in Asia.
It is.
Is that? Yeah.
The company I work for, our biggest overseas bookstore is in Malaysia.
You see, I'm not.
Terrific news, Matt. Now, can you tell me where Malaysia is?
I really should have brushed up on my geography before this game.
Should have done.
I can't see. I can imagine the countries on the map, but I can't see it anywhere. Well, hang on.
So just beam me your thoughts, and I'll put down where you imagined it.
They're all really odd sort of land masses around there.
They are. They are just like there's literally one country which is cut in half and just put on 2 islands.
P25.
Oh, I can't give you that. It's P24. You are not far off at all.
You misheard me.
No, I didn't. That was a good effort. You're at least in the right region. Right.
The Philippines is the one that I think's mental, because that's like over 1,000 islands.
Okay, Richard. Manila Jeepney.
Well, there we go then, Philippines.
Yeah, okay, you just said it, so I was a bit nervous there. Manila Jeepney, yep. Do you know where the Philippines is? And I've done it based on where Manila is.
Oh, well, I know the islands straight away.
Yeah. So whenever I say a place, I'm always saying where is the city where this club is based, just to once again clear that one up.
Looking at it, there's 2 squares it's going to be between. I will go with P26.
Again, it's close, but not quite there. That's O26. That's a good effort, though. Right. Anthony. Club Olympia. Club Olympia.
There's an obvious answer here.
Probably not. Okay.
Well.
Okay, whatever your obvious answer is, I'm willing to bet it's not that.
You'd go for Greece, wouldn't you?
That's the obvious answer, but I'm being dissuaded from going for that.
This is a hard quiz. I'm going to give a lot of fairly helpful hints in this one, because, yeah, this is very hard.
Yeah.
Club Olympia. Would you like a very helpful hint?
Okay.
You've already said it.
I've already said it, or we've already said it.
You've already said it.
What have I said wrong? Oh my god. I can't remember what I've said. What have I said?
If Richard realises what I've just gone for there, you'll find this quite funny. Okay, Club Olympia.
Greece.
No, it's Paraguay. It was
I thought you were trying to stitch me up. I couldn't.
No, you already said Paraguay. You somehow said it when I said a country in Europe, but that's the biggest club in Paraguay. Can you tell me where Paraguay is?
No, it's in South America somewhere.
How did you win against Nick?
Well, how did Nick lose against me? Is probably a better question.
Good point.
I think I know which one it is.
Away goals rule, that's all I'm saying. I know it's in South America, so it's somewhere between P9 and Y12, but...
Tell you what, South America is several thousand miles of continental landmass, so, you know, you're on the right tracks.
And Y12 is just in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess you're not on the right tracks then. Okay, where is Paraguay? Let's speed this up a little
Just
bit.
end this game.
I've got a feeling it's on the west. T10?
Oh, bullseye! That is exactly where it is. I have a feeling that was a very lucky guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. You said it was on the west, and I was thinking the only things on the west
and
are
then you said
Brazil
in
and
the middle of
Argentina. Yeah.
Sorry, I meant the east.
Can't even work that out at the moment.
Hang on, no. Brazil and Argentina are the east. Hang on, no.
Well, Argentina, you got Chile like sneaking along the side.
Chile's on the west, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Anyway.
Richard, Club Universitario de Deportes. Club Universitario de Deportes.
I know this one, I think.
Hello?
You all right?
Richard?
He's bottled it against me. You don't dare play.
I'm back.
Right, Richard, did you hear what I
What
said?
was the question? I've not heard anything.
It was Club Universitario de Deportes.
And his name is John C.
Okay. So did you get all that?
Hello?
Yeah, Club Universitario de Deportes.
I can't hear Richard.
I can hear you.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that there and restart the call. Right, Richard, your one is Club Universitario de Deportes. That's Club Universitario de Deportes.
I know there's some Club Universe, whatever's in Chile.
I think I know this one, but
Are you guessing Chile?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if it's either Chile or... It sounds South American, but it could also be Mexico. I don't like how it's ending, though, because it's on Universidad is Chile. What was it ending? What was the last name?
Club Universitario de Deportes.
I don't think it's Chile, but it must be round there. What are the countries around there?
Well, all the countries, apart from Brazil, are Spanish-speaking.
Yeah.
So there's nothing you can really get from the name that's going to inherently push you one way or the other.
Bolivia?
Oh, Peru. That's a Peruvian country. Club, sorry. Okay, can you tell me where Peru is?
It's 2-1 Arsenal.
That is not where Peru is. Can you tell me where it is, Richard?
And yes, I know where it is, but again, it's on 3 bits of the map.
Well, I based it again on where the club is based.
So,
you mean you know where in Peru it is?
Yeah, it's always based on what city the club is in.
No, I don't know where in Peru it is, but I'm going to go for S9.
It's R9. That's very close. Okay.
I know my countries.
All right, well, at the end of round 1, Richard is leading 4-3. So we'll pick that up in round 2 in a little bit. But we're going to talk about Chelsea now. So we're back to the Premier League. Chelsea have had an abysmal start to the season. They have already lost as many games so far in the 5 games they've played, but they lost all
They are
of last
3-0
season.
up. They are 3-0 up though in the football at the moment.
Our listeners probably already know that because the game is long finished whilst this has been released. But yeah, Chelsea have lost as many games this season as they lost all of last season, and they've conceded half as many goals already in 5 games as to what they conceded in 38.
They've got the worst goal record in the Premier League, haven't they, as well?
Yeah, it can't be understated. This is an absolutely terrible start. But the question I want to ask is Mourinho in trouble?
It's third season syndrome once again. He can't build a long-lasting team, and he doesn't like BBC interviewers telling him that, as pointed out in their recent press conference where he said the interviewer was doing asking stupid questions.
Well, he did answer the question. He asked about his third seasons, and he said, in all of my third seasons, it's never really been a disaster.
No, but he only builds one team at a club, and then he ends up moving on, or either leaving, or that's it. He'll build one side, but he's not very good at dismantling that side and starting again, or
I would argue that
developing a side.
This current season at Chelsea is quite different to every season he's done before, in the sense that most times he goes to a club, makes them successful almost straight away, and then it starts to go badly from there. This time it took him a year. He had a transitional year where he had to rebuild that squad. Then he had a very good year. So I'd say we can't really base it too heavily on what's gone before with Mourinho. But do we actually think Mourinho could maybe be in trouble, could maybe be potentially losing his job?
I think it's too early to say at the moment, but...
Well, they might already be out of a title race. Could that not be cause enough for someone like Abramovich?
No, I don't think he will.
He's famously unsentimental, Abramovich. In fact, he's probably killed people.
There was Jose. Jose will sort them out. They'll beat Arsenal on Saturday and everything will go back to normal.
I think the thing that they've got at the moment is at this point of the season, who else could they bring in?
Klopp. Klopp's the obvious
I
name.
don't think Klopp would want to go to Chelsea.
Could bring Ancelotti back. Oh, I think if you offered Klopp enough money, He knows he's not going to find another Dortmund.
I don't think they'll get rid of Mourinho. I really don't.
Well, yeah,
I think Klopp is a man of principles. I think he's already sort of come out and says that he doesn't want to go to a club where the money's there to that degree. He wants to build his own club again.
I don't know. Men of principles are judged by their actions more than anything else. We'd have to wait to see if he got offered a job to see how that would go down. But no, the question is, do we think Mourinho's in trouble, or is this just press, whipping up a storm? Do we think he'll ride this out? Do you think he'll be okay? Do you think he'll be able to rebuild this Chelsea side?
I think if he gets anything less than second in the league, then he's in trouble. But I think he'll certainly still be here coming towards the end of the season. I think if he's to go, it would be after the season's finished.
He won't be sacked for sure, but I can see him, despite what he was saying last year, that he's going to stay until Abramovich says he's not good enough and all that he was saying last season. I can see him just getting fed up with it and just walking away halfway through the season. But I can't see him getting sacked until, the end of the season. But even then, it's unlikely.
I don't think they'll sack him. I think they're going to stick for him for a while.
But then I do think there is a serious possibility he'll get fed up and walk away.
Okay, but what? Nobody can really quite put their finger on it. What is going wrong at Stamford Bridge? What is going wrong for Chelsea?
It's a stagnant
the results though. They lost away at Everton. That's never easy. Home to Palace, worrying. And away to City. So it's three games. Which
they lost only 3 games all of last season. They'd have to go unbeaten for the rest of the season to match their last year.
Everyone's panicking about, but I think people have been a bit over the top, to be honest.
I don't think they have. They've
looked like
they've done almost as badly as they did all of last season in 5 games. So all of the bad stuff that happened to Chelsea last season, half of the goals they conceded, all of their losses has happened in 5 games at the start of the season. I don't think that's an overreaction people have had.
When Stephen Naismith is scoring 3 goals past you, then there isn't a problem.
If Chelsea had played well throughout the season and like so far and had lost, then that would be one thing. But they've been poor all season, especially defensively. They've like John Terry's not what he was. He's been bad, and just as a team, they've just not looked the same. They've looked stagnant. They should have had 3 or 4 new players coming in. They should have refreshed it a bit, but it's the same team pretty much as last year.
Yeah, like Hazard is looking a shadow of himself.
Hazard's been awful this season. It's been especially damaging to my fantasy team. But...
yeah, I've got him in mine.
Yeah, he's in mine as well.
But is it just a matter? Okay, yeah. Is it just a matter of confidence, or is it fitness? Is it maybe mental? Is it maybe a mental thing?
We said before the start of the season, their odd pre-season games. I mean, they had that Fiorentina one right on the like a few days before the season started.
I think it might have been Scholes that nailed it on the head at the Everton Chelsea match the other day when they were going on about like all the trophies that the Premier League trophies he'd won in his career, 11. And that at the end of the season they celebrated the league for 2 or 3 days, and after that they were then concentrating on next year. And that was the Fergie mindset. It was, you've won that, well done. Now go and win it again next year straight away. And I don't think that mentality's there at Chelsea.
No. Well, it would understand. Yeah.
Okay, but do we blame Mourinho for that? Or do we think maybe it's more the players? Maybe the players have got a bit of short-termism, essentially. They've won it, they're very happy for it, and can't move on from that.
Bottom line is, it's the manager's job to get the players motivated and playing at the best of their ability. The Chelsea players, if it was 1 or 2 not playing at the best of their ability, then you could say maybe it's the players. The fact is, it's most of the team aren't playing as well as they can. I would say it's a manager issue, it's motivation, and the team just don't look good, and I blame Mourinho.
Okay.
I think there is a bit of a distress in the dressing room. Like clearly there was the issue with Eva, the doctor.
I still can't believe that's actually like an issue. A physio and a fucking manager.
Well,
it is an issue when your fullback who's badly out of form is having it away with her.
So I do think it's mainly a confidence thing, because I think the thing about a team like Chelsea is they're a juggernaut. Once they get going, they're almost impossible to stop. But if they can't start up, it becomes very difficult. It's a team full of malcontents. Diego Costa's a malcontent. Mourinho's a malcontent. When they get down, they are just miserable people, essentially. And I think Fabregas is quite similar to that. So if they find it difficult to get their spirits up in the first place, to get their confidence flowing, I think it's a slow run to get it there. But I think when they get it up to speed, they are just impossible to slow down. So I think for me, that's what the main problem is. I think there's fitness problems as well. I don't think that team is quite up to speed yet.
Another thing is, like, when you win the title, you don't rest on your laurels in regards to the transfer window. You improve your squad. And the Chelsea squad didn't really improve over the summer.
I think a lot of those signings weren't Mourinho signings. I think Mourinho didn't have that much of a say in most of it. I don't think he wanted Pedro. I think he was happy to get Pedro. I don't think he went up to Abramovich and said, "Buy me Pedro." I don't think he said, "Buy me Gilabodji," or "Buy me Michael Hector."
I don't think anybody would have ever said, "Buy me Gilabodji."
I think Mourinho might have wanted John Stones, but I don't think
he didn't get John Stones.
Well, obviously, but I don't think he actually had that much of a say in the players he brought in, or more specifically, the players they didn't bring in. I don't think he got much influence.
I do think Mourinho might not have wanted that player specifically, but they need defensive cover, and they've got that with Gilabodji and Hector. Well, Hector maybe not, and then Baba Raymond.
I think the big thing this year of transfers is a lot of people saying Mourinho hasn't made good signings. I don't think he made those signings at all, and I think the big problem is it's the signings he didn't make. And I think it's the signings the club didn't make instead. I think he had a list. I think he sent it off to them and said, "Can you get me these players?" And I think they just didn't do it. I think there was a bit of a power struggle with Abramovich and Mourinho.
I think it was very similar to the year when they brought in Shevchenko.
Yeah, that was the example I was going to bring up. Like I said, I think it's a club full of malcontents. People who are a bit gloomy, and I think you combine that with a bit of a lack of confidence, a bit of tiredness. I think that can go very badly very quickly. But I do think they'll come back from that. But do we think the title race is over already?
Yeah.
So for Chelsea, yes. Is it City are obviously going to be the favourites, but then, was the title race over last year with Chelsea early on?
I think most people called that one quite early on. Honestly, yeah. I think most people said it was Chelsea straight away.
Like, Chelsea were the only side, really, that I've got the squad and consistency, really, against the weaker sides to have mounted a challenge with City. You look at the two other rivals to City now, are United and Arsenal, and neither of them will last the season.
I think the title race is over in the same way. If you think the title race was over last season with Chelsea in the early stages, which I don't personally think it was, but if you think it was last year with Chelsea, City have won the title in the same manner, I would say.
Okay, we'll move on from the top of the table. Let's go down straight to the bottom. Sunderland and Newcastle. I'm going to ask a bit of an odd question, but what is going wrong for northern clubs, and what do they need to change?
I think it's a Pennine thing rather than a northern thing. I think you look northwest.
Yeah,
it's still all right. If you look over the other side of the Pennines, it's a grim picture.
Well, yeah, the Manchester clubs are only ever going to get so bad, but we're talking, Newcastle, we're talking Sunderland, clubs like that.
But you look Yorkshire way as well, and Yorkshire is that used to be a pretty decent hub of football. Is that's in the doldrums?
Yeah, this is what I'm asking. What is do we think there's an actual specific thing going wrong with the northern clubs, or?
I'd say that it's very hard to attract. I know it's easy with the amount of money that's pumped into the English game at the moment to get overseas talent, but the last place that an overseas talent would want to go in England is to the northeast of the country.
I disagree.
Yeah, I completely disagree too. Anthony, you say your point.
Well, I was going to say Newcastle have attracted Talvin, Wijnaldum, and over the years they've attracted a lot of good foreign talent, especially from France. Similar situation with Sunderland. They got like Giaccherini, for example. Obviously didn't do great, but he was an Italian starter, and other players have moved to both of them. I don't think it's a geographical issue.
No, it's not.
The clubs up there are still well supported. I think Newcastle, you look at teams like Leeds, Sunderland, they're well supported clubs. It's not a. I don't think it's.
They're all well supported, but why is it the entire region then is doing badly?
I don't
see.
I think it's Newcastle should be doing better. I think the players they're bringing are wrong. And people are saying that Newcastle have had a really good transfer in the summer. I completely disagree. What have any of these players they've signed shown so far?
Talbot, Wijnaldum really strengthened.
Absolutely awful, Newcastle. Howard, I don't buy this. I honestly reckon they'll have another crap season because I don't buy it. The only thing I think they've got is a better manager. I think McCrana's a quality club manager. Yeah, he'll probably do better than Carver, but people saying, Newcastle are probably going to get a top half finish. There's no chance. The players they've signed are not good enough.
I have to say, I hate to sound like Gordon Brown, but I agree with Nick. I mean, I think the problem with the northern clubs at the moment is they're signing too much foreign talent.
And they're getting it wrong. They're getting it wrong.
You look at Newcastle. Sorry. You look at Newcastle with the French players they've been bringing in, and they've settled with that same sort of Central European thing they've been going for. Didn't work before. I don't think it's going to work again. Sunderland, they brought in a lot of foreign players again this year. Jermaine Lens, Jan
clueless manager, I don't know.
Yeah, but they've done that again. I think clubs like that, they are completely based in the roots of they're based in the roots of the soil. They are based in the fans, they are based in the cities. That's what those clubs are built in. They're not going to have international fan bases. They're not going to have fans across the country. Newcastle fans are in Newcastle. Sunderland fans are, they're there. I think they just haven't been developing enough players from their local area. I mean, we talk more generally about clubs like Man United and Southampton. We're talking about English players, but with clubs like Newcastle and Sunderland, I think they need to develop local talent, real local talent. I think that's where they get successful.
That's what the Geordies
and over
done.
the years, Newcastle, players from Newcastle have been very good.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a big place. It's a huge place. One of the biggest places in the country. So,
there's not a lack of talent there.
No, I agree. I just think Sunderland have gone about there. I don't think they should have ever kept Advocat on, and I think it's just. I think I've said it from day one. It's proven that it was a mind-boggling decision because he's quite old. So
I completely agree. He shouldn't have came back. He should have left when he was a hero.
Left with his head held high, and
he'd be remembered as the man who got Sunderland safety that season. Like now,
he didn't really do an amazing job. He did one win against Newcastle, I think, and maybe another one.
Well,
that makes you a hero for life.
Well, I was going to say that is a good win, against when you beat you.
Whether he did an amazing job or not is irrelevant. The fact is, he was a hero in Sunderland. Yeah. He should have left.
No, exactly, I agree.
As for local talent, I do think at Newcastle, I'm thinking of they do have English players sort of around the bench. Like in the squad, like you've got Dummett, you've got Armstrong, you've got.
He's doing quality at Coventry.
Rolando Aaron's. Sorry. Yeah, Armstrong's had a really good start on his loan, and there are quite a few English players, but then
that's not what I'm saying. I understand. Dummett is Welsh, Rolando Aarons is Jamaican. What I'm talking about, like I was saying, with clubs like United and Southampton, the clubs with the big famous academies, it's about English talent for them, but it's not really specific to where they're based. It's about the having pride in the Englishness, I think, for those clubs. With clubs like
localness.
With clubs like Newcastle and Sunderland, it's about the city. It's about being a northerner. It's really being a local player, and I just think they completely lack developing those kinds of players. They're lucky they've got Sunderland got Duncan Watmore coming through, who he looks like a talent. Hope he gets the games. But I think with clubs like that, it's all about having that really tied into the fans, because the fans, the apathy, the anger has been so much growing in the north, and it was always about passion with those clubs. I think that's the real gap that they're having at the moment. And anyone else want to contribute on that one?
No, it's all been.
I still think that for a quality player, not the sort of the ones that they've been bringing in. Although I do think that Wijnaldum will turn it around. The last place that you would pick to go to in England would be the North East.
Yeah,
I don't know. Liverpool would be pretty high up on that list.
No, Liverpool as a city
I think Sunderland should have brought in a new manager. Really. I think they should have gone for Sean Dyche off Burnley. I still think they probably wouldn't have getting him, to be honest, or someone in that sort of someone who's doing very well in the Championship.
Yeah,
apart from the young manager sitting top of the table, but everyone else is available.
I do think I think Sunderland are doomed. I think that nailed on to go down. I do think Newcastle will get out of it. They do have talented players in their side, and I do think they will get out of the trouble and get a mid-table finish.
Well, you say Sunderland are definitely doomed. If they do go and change manager, you never know. It could spark some sort of revolution, like you said.
Potentially.
Like Leicester.
No, I think they've run out of revolutions. They've had that going for the last
I know
4
it
seasons.
does look like it's a dead cert.
You only get so many revolutions before the government collapses
How many have
completely.
you said about Leicester last year? But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think if they can have some sort of turnaround, you never know. But
As of today, I've seen nothing this season which has shown me that they can stay in the Premier League. Something may change with the manager or whatever, but today, there's no way I can back Sunderland to stay up.
Yeah, I do. I have to
Going
say,
on about revolutions, like not up round Sunderland, Newcastle. They've not even discovered electricity yet.
yeah, I will say I think you do have a point when you say they can't attract a certain calibre of players. Like, I don't think it's a coincidence. A lot of people said the players Southampton have managed to bring in, they're real coups. It's the South Coast. A lot of people want to go down to the South. It's a nice place to live. I think Manchester have the reputation for being a big footballing city. Same with Liverpool. I do think there's a point there, but
a nice place.
I don't think it's the main problem. But we're gonna move on, and we're going on to the second round of our game.
Oh, bloody hell!
Yeah, it's all ready. Right.
We can't. Sorry, Nick, but we can't help it that you're just absolutely awful.
No, I don't know how long this show's already up an hour.
It's because the thing kept failing, but we can't talk about it when we're recording. Okay, right, we're going to start off with Anthony again.
Yay.
This is probably the only easy one you're going to get.
Thank you.
Colorado Rapids.
USA.
That is USA. Where in USA is it?
In Colorado.
Yeah, where's Colorado? Where's Colorado?
I've no idea. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I-5?
No, K7. Not that close at all. Okay.
Well, yeah, that's Canada. I was looking at Canada. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking. I'm sure it's southeast.
No. Okay. Probably the only good one you're going to get, Richard, as well. DC United.
Well, that's USA as well.
That is also USA. Where is DC United based?
It's in Washington.
It's in Washington, DC. Where is Washington, DC?
Oh, this is embarrassing if I don't get this now.
Capital of America.
Yeah.
It is quite tricky because there's 2 Washingtons in America.
There is. I think it's still pretty close to that side.
Would you like a clue? Because I've got a really good clue. Do you want the clue?
Can I say it, I guess, first?
No, because otherwise the clue is useless.
That's 2 guesses, isn't it?
You're getting the clue. The clue is
Go on, then.
woof woof. That's your clue.
Oh, I was going K9 anyway.
Ah, you got it. You got my clue. Yeah, it's K9. That was the best clue I've ever come up with. Right. Okay, Anthony.
Yeah.
Caracas FC. Caracas FC.
Oh, I've heard of these.
You should have done. The big one is the first word, Caracas. This is a capital city of where this club is. So Caracas. Come on. If you've ever watched Homeland, you should know where this is.
No.
God damn it.
I think I know. No.
Well, Homeland is an American drama, and they like to do a lot of stuff in Mexico. It's not Mexico.
Yeah, you've clearly never watched Homeland.
I've never watched Homeland, but
I know it's an American drama. I watched like the first 5 minutes and didn't continue. Caracas. Isn't it?
Got to press you here.
Sorry. Bolivia.
No.
Honduras.
No, it's Venezuela. That's a Venezuelan. It's the Venezuelan capital, Caracas. Can you tell me where Venezuela is?
You should have said Pasta Maldonado.
That would have been giving it away quite a lot.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I know it's in America somewhere.
It's not Canada.
Is it not?
No.
Yeah.
Good trick.
Nah.
Venezuela. Where's Venezuela?
I think it's on the coast, but a lot of it's on the coast.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that pretty much everything on South America is on the coast.
Yeah.
Apart from the one he had before with Paraguay.
Yeah, pretty much the only one not on the coast.
Is it R9?
You said R really weird. No, it's not. It is...
P10?
It's P9.
Oh.
So yeah, okay. That's not terrible. Right, yours is LDU de Quito. LDU de Quito. That's Quito is spelt Quito.
Ooh.
And again, this is a capital city one.
Yeah. Quito. That's South American as well. Would you go back to one that we've already done?
I don't think I've done a single one more than once.
You've done Russia more than once.
Yeah, Russia for one person, Russia for another person.
Oh. So you get an advantage here, Richard.
Right, so it's a capital city and it's South America. So what have we got there? Colombia, no, because that's Colombia City, isn't it? What's the other we've not done in South America?
We've only done like 2 in South America.
We've done a few. We've done Peru, Paraguay, Venezuela.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Venezuela, we just did.
It's definitely not Uruguay.
Is it not? It could be.
No,
it could be any of them.
I don't recognise that as the capital of Uruguay. I can't think of the capital of Uruguay, but I know it's not that.
Do you want a clue? The people of this country are famously small. They are famously among the smallest people in the world.
Is that then Ecuador?
Bullseye. That is Ecuador. I don't know how you know that little fun fact I came up with.
No, I saw there was a list I saw the other week of like really small nations.
See, my clues are helpful.
Yeah. There was,
Did you write these clues beforehand, or are you just?
No, I just have a massive amount of general knowledge, and I'm just randomly doing this. Okay, can you tell me where
there's
Ecuador
quite a few
is?
South American, but the rest are obviously then from the Far East.
Yeah, can you tell me where Ecuador is? And again, this is based on where the city is.
Yeah, it's between Peru and Colombia. But again, there's 2 bits to it on the map, so I'll have to go coast-wise of Q8.
Q8? It is Q8. Oh, that's
Not
a big.
Kuwait, is it?
That's a big 2 points there. That is a big pull. Now,
That's game over, isn't it?
Anthony, Atlético Nacional. That's Atlético Nacional. Nacional is spelled Nacional.
I think I know.
I think I know.
This is one you should know. This is actually quite a well-known team.
I have to get this, really. Is it Brazil?
No.
Chile.
No, it's Colombia. That's the biggest team in Colombia. And they always do quite well in the, what's the big South American competition they do? I think it's Copa Sudamerica. They always do really well in that one. So you should have probably known that one, but can you tell me where Colombia is? And again, this is based on the capital city.
No, but I will guess T10 because it's in the middle-ish.
P9?
Well, Richard gets it right, but obviously you don't get any points for it. No, that is, P9.
How many we got left? 2 more each?
Yeah.
Well,
I think you could still technically pull this back if you got almost everything right.
okay, I'll do that.
So, this one's quite obvious. Club... Well, I say it's obvious. It's not, actually. It's a bit of a trick one. Club Bolivar. And remember, I said this is a bit of a trick one.
So it's not Bolivia. Or is it? Are you doing... is it a South America special now?
This is for every country I do a partner one in the same region, so it's not, it's very, very balanced. So for the Russian one I did, someone else got a Russian one too. So yeah, everyone gets at least, I think, 2 South American ones here. So Club Bolivar. What country is Club Bolivar in?
It must be Bolivia.
Is that your guess?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sure?
Yes.
It is Bolivia. The trick was me saying it was a trick.
Come on.
Yeah. Can you tell me where Bolivia is?
Working way around all the ones that have done. I think Bolivia must be the other big one that we've not done yet, because we've done Venezuela, done Colombia, done Ecuador, done Peru, done Paraguay. Obviously, you know which Chile, Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil are. It's not one of the little tiny ones, so it's that other big one that's next to Paraguay.
Yeah, I don't actually have a map out at the moment, so that's pretty much all useless to me. Coordinates.
But there's 5 bits of the map of that.
Again, it's based on the city the club is based in.
I will go being that it's the closest bit of the map to the sea, S9.
Good one. That is S9. Now, Anthony, you're at the point where you've pretty much got to get this all right to draw. And this is probably the hardest one in the whole game. Paktakor Tashkent. Paktakor Tashkent. I'm going to give you, a clue. This is not the first place you're thinking of, because I know what the first place you're thinking of is. It's not that. Paktakor Tashkent. The clue is in the second one, Tashkent, because this is the capital city.
It's not Kent.
No, this is a former Soviet satellite state. So it's a former Soviet state. And I'm going to give you another clue and say this is Asia. You're looking at Central Asia here. Because I've got to give you some clues to try and see if I can keep you in this.
Right. Central Asia. That really doesn't... I had a first country in mind, but...
Tell you what,
They all end in the same.
Yeah, they all end in the same. I'm going to do you a favour and eliminate one country for you, because this is the one I think you might have been thinking of. It's not Pakistan. Because you might have been thinking that because it starts with Paktakor Tashkent. It's not Pakistan.
Right.
That's the only hint I'm really going to give you on that.
Right. Well, I was thinking Bangladesh, but...
No.
No.
That's certainly not an ex-Soviet state.
The other clue is Tashkent. This is the capital city. Tashkent is the capital city of this country. You could probably guess what the capital city of Bangladesh is. You could probably guess what the capital city of India and Pakistan and all these countries are. Tashkent. It's probably going to need a bit of a wild guess from you.
Yeah. I don't like this at all. Uzbekistan.
Straight out of nowhere with the big Uzbekistan. What a point.
Is that right?
What a point.
That should be worth 5 points at least.
That is massive now. Where's Uzbekistan? This is right on the border, so I'm going to be a tiny bit lenient with this one. So, yeah, where is Uzbekistan?
I don't know. Where's India? So, M23.
You're not even really close, so I can't give you that. It's K21. Right, Richard, this is going to be for the win. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hold on a second, I need to scroll down. Where did I put this? Oh yeah, no, this is the one that was really hard. Because it's just not even slightly obvious. You're looking for K Research Laboratories FC.
What?
You can't complain about being unlucky with the
K Research Laboratories FC. And tell you what, I'll be extra generous and give you a second team that is in the same city. Water and Power Development Authority FC. Can you tell me where that is? Somehow I just knew you'd be winning up at this point.
K Research Laboratories. It makes me think of that of the Welsh club, the Total What's It ones, but it's not Wales.
Could be Wales.
Wouldn't be able to find it on the map if it was.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Right. I'm applying logic in that you've just done one from near one of the ex-Soviet states, so I'm going from around there. I'll go with
Tajikistan?
Yeah.
You're going with Tajikistan? Nope, this is Pakistan.
I wasn't far off.
No, you're not too far off, but all the clubs in Pakistan just have the weirdest names. Like, they've got army clubs and police clubs and everything. Right. Can you tell me where this is in Pakistan?
Right.
Again, I'm looking for a...
And I was left out of this game.
Not that long. 2 questions.
So, are we going to go for bordering India or the other side? I will go with M21.
Bang on. That is Pakistan. Yeah, and I think, you got one more you can get right, Anthony. You got to get this right to stay in. It's so close now. Enyimba International FC. Enyimba International FC. Do you want a clue?
Please.
You've probably received an email from one of their princes.
I was thinking...
That's a really good clue if you didn't get that.
Yes.
That is a massive clue.
I was going to say before, there's a goalkeeper, Vincent Enyema. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, but I think he plays for Nigeria.
Are you going for Nigeria?
So then you say princes, and that makes me think Middle East.
You've probably received an email from one of these princes. That's my clue.
Well, I did receive an email from a Nigerian man called Dr. Richard Tang once, so I'll go for that.
It is Nigeria. So you're still in this.
You must have had the ones from the bank saying that this Nigerian prince has been overthrown in a coup.
Yeah, that was a really big clue. Okay. Can you tell me where Nigeria is?
Can I play my joker for this round?
No.
Is your joker that you don't know where Africa is?
Don't seem
I'm
to know
not
where
as big a
many
joker
places
as
are.
Nick.
Hey?
He'd say Siberia.
Right, yeah. Where in Africa is Nigeria?
Northern Africa, isn't it?
I'm going to give you a really big hint here and say that Northern Africa has just been under a wave of rebellions, revolutions, and ISIS threats. So unless you've read about that in the news, it's probably not that.
So it's in Southern Africa.
There's really one country in Southern Africa, and that's South Africa.
Oh, there's plenty of countries in Silver Sack.
Central Africa. Eastern
Africa is really big.
Yeah, I can see it. It's got lots of squares in it.
You have to know where Nigeria is. How did you beat Nick?
Oh my god. I have a feeling, actually. I genuinely do. I need to find it. Is it? I think it's that one. Oh, it can't be. Oh god, I'm just going to randomly guess. 017, because that's somewhere in Africa.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you that. I'll give you that. It's technically P17, but it's quite on the border, so I will give you that. That's close enough, and I want to keep the suspense going. Right, Richard, for the victory. You only have to get one out of these 2 last bits here. Ashanti Kotoko.
Well, that sounds Far East.
Ashanti Kotico. This is the most successful club in this nation. Have a guess.
It sounds. Kotico sounds Far East, but Ashanti very much sounds African.
Have a guess.
Do I get any sort of clue? Like,
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a clue. But focus less on Kotico. Focus less on Kotico.
right, so it's definitely African.
It's probably African.
Yeah, that's a big place, Africa.
It's a huge place.
Now you see my dilemma.
You should know where Nigeria is.
Yeah, I know where Nigeria is.
Okay, yeah, Ashanti, Kotico. Give me a guess.
Which nations play football?
Pretty much all of them in Africa.
Yeah, but there's ones that play particularly well. I'll go.
Didn't say it was a good team.
I'll go Ivory Coast.
Not too far away. This is Ghana. Now, do you know which one Ghana is? Because you're drawing at the moment. Somehow. So if you get this one right, and I've got, again, a tiny bit of leniency, because it's a bit of a border one. Can you tell me where Ghana is?
It's next to the Ivory Coast. So it is P16.
That's bang on, and Richard wins.
Hey.
Yay. So, Richard, you have the best geography knowledge of the V2 gang.
Probably just about deserved.
Most definitely deserved. Right, we've got to finish it off there because we've got a bit over time. So thank you for joining us this week. We've got the what's it called?
BAFTA.
The BAFTAs, right? If you look on our website at V2 Football, you'll see that there's an award ceremony going on at the moment. You can vote for us in that.
Please vote for us. We need to go there.
Yeah, it's an award ceremony. Vote for us for the best football blog. If you like the podcast, if you like the forum, if you like all that, please vote for us. It will mean a lot to the website.
And me.
Yeah, and to Nick especially. He wants to go and meet Bianca Westwood.
I
Also,
think we all do.
We can get that also being here, I can get that selfie.
please also follow us on Twitter at V2 Football. Please check out the forum at 606V2. That's all from me. Thank you and good night from all of us.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.